All right, all right, all right. Let's see, make sure we can share the screen here. Hey, I want to welcome everybody to this Zoom event, the CTFO Zoom event. My name is Adam Levy. Really glad that you all could join us here today. I have a special guest on the line, Dr. Robban Sica, who we're going to be introducing momentarily. Let me just share my screen. All right, perfect. I hope everybody can see okay. That sounds like it's going to work out perfect. Well, anyway, thanks for joining us here today, guys. Really glad to be here, wherever you are, wherever you're listening in. I've got a really special guest on the line, Dr. Robban Sica, who's an MD. I've known Dr. Robban for a long time now, and she's one of those doctors that, when all other modalities have failed, when other doctors have failed to fix the problem, they usually end up in Dr. Robban Sica's office, and she treats the whole body through a mix of different, really an integrative medical practice that she has, and always is able to get to the other side of the issue, and really she treats the whole person. So it's really great to have Dr. Robban Sica on board here and to be able to share some information about, how do you build up your immune system. We have so many of these scares today with coronavirus and other issues that are going on in the world today that, it's great to have somebody who has this kind of experience. And she's not only brilliant as a doctor, but she is a formulator and has helped formulate our 10X Pure Ultimate Multivitamin, which you're going to get to hear a little bit about as well. So with that, Dr. Robban Sica, thanks for joining us today. We're so glad to have you, and I'll let you take it away.
Good to see you, Adam. Thanks for inviting me. So I just want to put a little bit of this in perspective, because when you see this hype on the news about so many cases, I'm getting feedback, a lot of feedback here, Adam.
What?
Anything about that?
What's going on?
I'm getting feedback on my end as I can hear myself talking back to me. I don't know if there's anything we can do about it, but
okay, go ahead.
So, you have to put these numbers into perspective, I think, because, 70,000 cases and counting seems like a huge amount. But when you look at the population of China, it's over 1.4 billion people. So it sounds like a lot of cases, but really in perspective to the world of 7 billion people, it's a very, very tiny, tiny amount. And that's not saying that it's not a significant, a significant virus. The death rate sounds terrible. 1,700 people, I think it's over 2,000 actually now, have died, most of them in China. We'll talk about that in a minute in terms of toxicity and deficiency. But a good number of people have recovered, and a number of them have had no symptoms whatsoever, but have carried the virus. So there's a big spectrum there. It's not necessarily you get this virus, you die. Okay, so put those numbers like in perspective. Always the CDC and the World Health Organization have to be protective that, we're going to, we need to make sure this thing doesn't spread around the world. So they're taking serious actions, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend flying to China right now or taking a cruise in the Far East. But, the reality is that this probably is never going to reach us in any significant form. If you look at other previous so-called pandemic viruses like Ebola and SARS and things like that, this called swine flu, et cetera. They don't usually last for very long. It kind of hits a big peak and then it starts to decline for various reasons. And the best way you can protect yourself is not by wearing a mask around Connecticut or your local town. Okay, and that's really, unless you know that there's somebody in your town that's got it, you're not going to be exposed to it. The best way you can protect yourself, not just about from coronavirus or the flu or a cold or anything else, is by raising your immune function. And that's what we're going to talk about. Can you back up to the first slide? Because you hear a lot of hype about the flu also. And if you look at the 15 million cases of the flu, I don't know which year this is we're quoting, but over less than 8,000 deaths, okay, in the US. And again, very tiny percentage. Most of those people are very compromised. And you'll hear a lot of hype about, oh, we need to force everyone to have a flu shot to prevent this. Problem is, influenza A and B actually mutate at a rate so fast that by the time the vaccine comes out, it's less than 10% effective. Whereas some of the data on the nutritional interventions and keeping your immune system strong are way higher than that. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Go ahead and go to the next slide, Adam. So that's so this slide here is the basic way that I look at I approach every problem, whether it's preventing a virus, boosting your immune system, treating any condition. Okay, first of all, if you're deficient, you can see that orange dotted line, and if you're deficient, then it doesn't take much of an additional exposure to a toxin, to a virus, et cetera, before you start to develop some significant illness. So you might be pretty healthy, but if you're vitamin D deficient, zinc deficient, B12 deficient, vitamin A deficient, vitamin C deficient, then that virus, your neighbor, coughs on you, or the guy you're working next to coughs on you, and you have no immunity to stop that. And it could just be the common cold, and it's going to make you miserable for a few days. You're not going to die from it, okay? But if you just take some simple measures to optimize your threshold up to that green line, now somebody sneezes on you and you don't get it. You don't have any symptoms. You don't lose that 3 days of feeling lousy. And granted, when you go over to the right, there are people that have more stressors on their system, who are more ill. They're obviously more at risk. And the chronically ill people are the ones who are deficient. They're at that orange line, and they've got that big stack over to the right of the chronically ill. And now they're the ones that get a flu virus and they go into pneumonia, and they don't have the ability to fight the pneumonia. And unfortunately, the flu vaccine is not going to protect them, because it only protects maybe 10% of the population. And if their immune system is weak, they're not even going to be able to use that flu shot very effectively. So those are the people that are the sitting ducks, and they need to do some work on their diet, on their environmental stress, and really addressing the underlying causes of their illness. That's a lot more work to do with a physician like me than the average person that's walking around mostly healthy, doesn't think they're too sick. But if they're deficient, they still may be more susceptible to that virus than you think. And that's the person over to the left. So this is, we're not going to talk about iron today, but this is a really lovely graphic that's been shown. Back in 1940, 100 grams of spinach had 158 milligrams, actually that should be, of iron per 100 grams, okay? And that was a good amount, okay? By 1965, due to the farming methods that we use in this country extensively, that had dropped to 27 milligrams. And in the 1990s, it's dropped to 2.2 milligrams. And that's, all of the trace minerals basically have dropped at that same rate. And we're seeing larger and larger percentages of the population that are becoming deficient in one or more trace minerals. And there are certain trace minerals, and this is the reason why. Even in 1936, the US government, there was a Senate hearing, and basically gotta be able to read this here, hang on. The alarming fact stated that the alarming fact is that foods, fruits, vegetables, and grains being raised on millions of acres of land in the US no longer contain enough of certain needed minerals, and we are starving no matter how much we eat. That was in 1936. Here we are almost a century later, and we're still, and it's only gotten worse if you look at that slide that I just presented, where the iron levels have dropped precipitously over a period of decades. So, basically everyone needs a good quality multivitamin and maybe even extra minerals and certain vitamins that I'll go over. So this is the CTFO 10X Ultimate multivitamin that I had the pleasure to assist in designing and making sure that things are as best that we could do in a multivitamin. I'm going to start with vitamin D, because vitamin D is such a powerful immune support and immune stimulant. It is absolutely critical to get your vitamin D levels up to above 50. The reference range at Quest Labs, which is the one I use here in Connecticut, is 30 to 100, based on the last 100 samples submitted to the lab. But that doesn't mean it's an optimal range. It just means that's the average of the population, most of whom are sick. So if you look at the data, if you get your level between 50 and 100 on your regular standard blood work, then you're in the optimal place to not only prevent infectious diseases such as viruses, flu, et cetera, but also autoimmune diseases, allergies, heart disease, cancer, all kinds of things. So it's really important. Now, in a multivitamin, we're limited, obviously, that it was 2 soft gels. We're limited to the size of the capsule. So there is 400 IU of vitamin D3. I generally recommend more than that. So if you're going to supplement in addition to this multi, that would be one thing that's a relatively very inexpensive insurance policy is to take some extra vitamin D. If you don't have a doctor that's willing to check your levels, then at least take 2,000 more IUs per day of vitamin D, especially in the winter. A lot of my patients are on between 5,000 and 10,000, but I'm monitoring their levels so we don't go too high on that. That is a fat soluble vitamin, so there is the potential. It's hard to overdose, but there is the potential to overdose on it. Second one I'm going to talk about is vitamin C. There's 500 milligrams in here, which is a good basic dose. If you're exposed to a virus, or if you, are more concerned in the wintertime, or you feel like your immune system is not as good, then I would ramp that up to 2,000 milligrams a day. Again, vitamin C, very inexpensive. If you get a good quality, naturally derived vitamin C, it's still very inexpensive. And take that extra vitamin C, because of the immune boosting nutrients, vitamin D, vitamin C, vitamin A, and zinc and B12 are absolutely critical. And there's good data on it around the world, good data on all of those particular nutrients as far as their ability to combat, raise your immune system and combat viruses and other infections. Vitamin C, actually, if you are exposed, ramp the dose up. And you can take, if you're getting sick, you can take 1,000 milligrams every half hour, and it'll stave off the infection. And when you're sick, you can take a tremendous amount of vitamin C and not have any side effects. If you took that vitamin C, that same amount when you're well, you might get some loose stools from it, but it's not going to hurt you other than that. So vitamin C is very, very safe, very necessary, and humans don't make it. Most animals do. So you don't have to supplement your dogs and your cats with vitamin C. They make their own. But if you look at an animal that makes vitamin C, when it starts to get sick, it ramps its own internal production of vitamin C up to, tens of thousands of milligrams. So why does it do that? Because it knows that the vitamin C is going to be able to stave off that infection. But unfortunately, guinea pigs and humans, and I can't remember there's a couple other animals that don't make their own vitamin C. So we have to take it in our diet, and you're not going to get a lot from, an orange. You really need to supplement with a good quality vitamin C. So you're getting your basics in the multivitamin mineral here that you should take every day, but you want to supplement with extra of certain things. Can you flip back, Adam? I want to go back to zinc here. I think there's 15 milligrams of zinc in the 10X Pure Multi. If I recall, I don't know, he's not going back to that. There it is. Yeah, it's 15 milligrams. That's a great base. Zinc is essential for your immune system. It's absolutely critical. But again, you could take more zinc if you're getting sick or in the winter for prevention. B12, there's 100 micrograms, which is kind of, again, a good base there, but it's, if you're getting sick, again, taking extra certainly is not going to hurt you. The B vitamins are water soluble. Your body will get rid of anything that it's not going to need or use. But those are the really critical ones there. And by the way, it is methylcobalamin. The B vitamins, this multi has a full spectrum of B vitamins, and it has methylfolate and the label there is not correct. The labels were misprinted and say cyanocobalamin. Actually, methylcobalamin. You hearing that too, Adam? Okay. So you have your 24 key nutrients at or above the recommended daily intake, but remember that recommended daily intake is sort of your base just to keep you at a good level. If you're deficient, you're going to need to supplement additionally. If you're getting sick, or you're concerned about getting sick, or you're getting exposure, you might want to add some extra of the vitamins, like I said. And I took great care to make sure that each of these nutrients are in the best form for absorption, for bioavailability, and for utilization in the body. There's no binders or fillers, of course, and the advantage to the 10X Pure that other multivitamins that have similar nutrient content is that the 10X Pure itself really improves and optimizes the bioavailability and absorption. So particularly for people that say have gluten sensitivity or some other issue that interferes with absorption, which a lot of us do and we may not even know it, then you're going to be able to get more out of this multivitamin. So even if I say 15 milligrams of zinc is a base, if you're getting all of that or most of that 15 milligrams into your body, that's better than taking a poor quality vitamin that's 30 milligrams or 60 milligrams and it's not getting absorbed. So you can go ahead and go to the next slide, Adam. Look on the next slide. Can you hear me?
Yeah, did it go?
I don't know what's going on with the slide.
Okay. What slide are you seeing?
I see CTFO top quality commitment.
Slide
I just went over.
That's weird. Hold on. Make sure this is sharing properly. All right.
I can see your mouse. Sorry, guys.
Do you see the pricing slide?
No. No, it's like it's not advancing. You know what? Maybe what I'll do is I'll reduce it and then see.
Yeah.
See, now try.
We're on the CBD slide, benefits of CBD now.
Yeah, somebody just typed in that's what they're seeing too. They're seeing the same thing. I don't know why it's not advancing.
Okay, that's not good. Hold on, we're going to try to stop and share, and then we're going to start again on this share. Hold on. Technical difficulties, please stand by. How about now? What are we seeing now?
I'm seeing the little gummy bear.
That's where we're supposed to be. Go ahead.
Is that the next slide? Okay, great. So I want to go back to CBD because CBD, of course, is we know has many, many benefits on the immune system as well. It's not a trace mineral or vitamin, but it also helps to ramp up the part of your immune system that fights infections and cancer and downregulate that which is too inflammatory. So it is, the endocannabinoid system is one of our ways in our body that we maintain homeostasis. So taking CBD actually helps to correct that and bring that all into balance, especially the immune system, the immune system is good and bad. It fights infection, but it also can be too inflammatory. So CBD is going to help to bring that back into balance, which is another way to support your immune system on an ongoing basis and keep you healthy. 10X Pure has, by the way, 10X Pure is the structured oxygenated oil for those of you who are new to these presentations. It is a patented hydrophilic technology. So it's an oil which is hydrophilic and lipophilic or fat loving and water loving. It's a double-ended molecules, I should say. Which markedly we found increases absorption, bioavailability, and potency, and even crosses the blood-brain barrier. And that's all really important, as I mentioned in the section on the multivitamin, that you're getting better absorption than you would from just a regular multivitamin because of the fact that it's in a gel cap that has the 10X Pure oil in there. But I want to point out that the 5 essential fatty acids that are in 10X Pure that are oxygenated include lauric acid. Lauric acid was originally extracted from mother's milk. It's a potent antiviral, antibacterial, and I use it by itself all the time in my practice for people that have viral infections. Capric acid is a prebiotic, and prebiotics are really important in terms of supporting the good bacteria in your gut and making sure that the good bacteria are there and the dysbiotic flora. It's going to discourage those, and Adam's going to talk about that a little bit more when he talks about the shake. But the prebiotics are really important to feed the good bacteria in your gut. The good bacteria in your gut are essential for a good immune system. And unfortunately, it's your gut is constantly under attack from GMO foods and glyphosate in our foods, which have been sprayed on pretty much all grains, from antibiotics in our food, from other toxins in our food, from eating too much sugar in our diet. So your gut flora is always under attack. And the prebiotics can help to offset that a bit, but you also need to do your duty do your job as far as making sure your diet's as clean as it can be and as, sugar-free as it can be. And caprylic acid is in the 5 essential fatty acids, and that's actually an antifungal. And fungal organisms like Candida albicans actually produce immunotoxins that suppress your immune system. So it's important to keep the fungal organisms in the gut down and build up the good bacteria again. So, and then linoleic is anti-inflammatory. So those are really important, all really important in terms of your immune system and keeping your body in the right balance. And, again, full spectrum hemp oil, all of the cannabinoids have this positive effect on the balance of the immune system, the fighting side of the immune system versus the inflammatory side of the immune system, as well as other terpenes and some of those other, vitamins, minerals, et cetera, have potent effects on inflammation as well as on having antiviral, antifungal properties. So, 10x Pure actually keeps the CBD as CBDA, which is from the raw unprocessed hemp. And it has much more potent effects on inflammation and pain. We know that that's been shown. But when you think about it, the fact that the CBDA is that much more potent on those, I'm going to make the statement that I believe it's probably going to be much more potent across the board in terms of immune support, in terms of every aspect of what we know CBDA can do. So Raphael Meshulam is from Israel, and he is the guy that really discovered the endocannabinoid system. He discovered THC, the structure of THC and CBD and a lot of the other cannabinoids. He's been publishing data for 4 decades now, and he basically says the naturally occurring but unstable cannabidiolic acid, or CBDA, is 1,000 times more potent than CBD in binding to the particular serotonin receptor thought to be responsible for alleviating nausea and anxiety, not to mention depression, and could be particularly, that was my side, and could be particularly effective for pain control. So, and he was interviewed on NBC News just in 2019, and because he's trying to develop a synthetic, he's on the way to develop a synthetic CBDA, because CBDA is very difficult to stabilize. CTFO has 10x Pure, and 10x Pure stabilizes CBD in a large extent to CBDA. So we have that already. We don't need to wait for a synthetic drug to come out at $32,000 a month or whatever ridiculous price they're going to label it. We have it now. So, this is a 1-2 punch. If you do your multivitamin, maybe a little extra vitamin D and C, and then your cannabidiolic acid, you're probably going to be in pretty good shape to maintain your health through the winter.
Well, Robban, that was awesome. Do you have anything you want to wrap up on the CTFO CBDA?
Well, this product is just amazing when you look at the fact that, we're increasing the amount of CBDA more than 600 times, in a 300 bottle alone, 300 milligrams. It's just amazing how much more there is in there. And, you can see the effect. It's profound, certainly on things like pain and inflammation, and people get relief and anxiety. They get a relief very, very quickly with it. From my experience, again, the immune benefits haven't been studied quite as extensively, but it, again, we know it exerts effects on the immune system, so it's going to have that benefit as well.
Well, Robban, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to share some great information about how we can build up the immune system with our product line. And we do have quite a few different products that help the immune system. And in this day and age of superbugs and all the things that people are worried about, it's a great market to be able to promote something that builds the immune system. So thanks for being on the webinar.
Oh, you're so welcome, Adam. It's a pleasure. I'm sorry it was like drinking out of a fire hose. I was talking as fast as I could go.
That's okay. Well, we'll do another one. We'll spend more time on it, and we'll just move on to the next slide here because I want to make sure everybody is able to catch the rest of this. The Extreme Shake, as Dr. Robban Sica mentioned, prebiotics and probiotics, how important they are for your immune system. Our Extreme Shake gives you 1 billion probiotics with each serving. And it's something that is really what our bodies are accustomed to taking on, the kind of probiotics that you'd find in organic soils that we generally wash off of all of our vegetables today so that we don't get those organic soils, dirt. We don't get any of that in our diet today. And so when you do one of these shakes a day, you are doing amazing things for your gut health. And 80% of your immune system can be found in your gut. It's those probiotics that are going on there, the good gut flora. It's so important. There's also prebiotic fiber that feeds the probiotics, and that's also really, really important. So the Extreme Shake is just an incredible product. It also has the Sensoril in it, which has 11 human clinical studies. One of the other things that it does really well is it helps you get sleep. It's good for stress and cortisol levels. But if you're drinking one of these shakes a day, you're going to be sleeping at night like a baby. And let's face it, how important is sleep to a healthy immune system, right? You're getting a therapeutic dose of the Sensoril in every shake. So basically what those 11 human clinical studies were based on, that's the amount that you get when you have an Extreme Shake. Here are the benefits of Sensoril that are clinically studied, that are in there. And here are the other benefits that you get by having this low-carb, amazing probiotic protein shake called the Extreme Shake. It's a really affordable thing too.
It says better immune health, Adam. Right on the slide, better immune health. Ashwagandha is also used as immune stimulant.
Oh, okay, great. So, and $39.97. If you're on auto ship, all the prices in your back office go down 5%. So, that's really, for a couple of bucks per serving, it's a no-brainer. If you're trying to lose weight, we've got a great 14-day plan to a lighter you that's free. You can download. It's got great recipes for the Extreme Shakes. Here's some of the ones that are my favorite. There's a great little introductory video on the Extreme Shake too. You can learn about it. This is quickly becoming one of everybody's favorite go-to, snacks and lunches, breakfasts, and on-the-go kind of a thing. People absolutely love the Extreme Shake. So let's kind of wrap it up a bit. We've got over 80 plus top quality CBD products that are available at wholesale. You're basically getting your own CBD dispensary for free, okay? And a beautiful, gorgeous website to go with it. And then you can just share, your link and just amazingly get great results by, sharing this incredible offer to people that you know and the people you don't know. And I got to tell you, we're shopping, we're saving, and then we're sharing. Those are the three things that we do. We just happen to have a really friendly, great platform to do it. Some suggestions on getting you started. Here are just some suggestions. You can order one product or whatever it is that you want to order. Again, it's free to join, so it doesn't cost anything to join, but you're going to want to try these products and build up your immune health and help so many other issues. These are just some suggestions. There's a health pack here that has the 10X Pure Ultimate Multivitamin formulated by Dr. Robban Sica, a couple of the Extreme Shakes. That's not a bad way to go. Then we also have this combo pack, which has our 10X Pure products in it, including the roll-on, the 10X Pure roll-on, which is an absolute game changer. That product right there works so quickly for people. I just carry this one wherever I go, and you just roll this thing on wherever you got issues. Within minutes, people are experiencing results, and that product is an absolute game changer. So that's one of my favorite little packs to get people going as well. Then we've got our business builder packs. Here's just a couple of them. There are many. There's a silver level, a gold level. There's even a platinum level, and these have the deepest discounts of our products, and also they unlock additional compensation in our compensation plan. So if you're thinking you want to try some of the, various products that we have, you might want to go for one of these packs and buy the products at the lowest possible price that you can, and get the best variety. So those are just a couple of great suggestions as well. Right now, it's important that you know that you can save 20% on your very first order. So within your first 7 days of joining and getting started with CTFO, if you place your order within the first 7 days, you're going to get 20% off of that first order. So take full advantage of that. That's your entire order. If you are going for one of the business builder packs, you'll actually get 10% off of those packs because they're already deeply discounted. So we give you 10% off on those, and you have within your first 30 days to take advantage of that 10% discount as well. And for those of you that have been around for a while, good news is that right now until next Tuesday, you can get 20% off. They wanted to make sure they extended this 20% to our existing members. They announced that a few days back. So you've got till Tuesday, midnight, to get 20% off. Stock up on all your favorite things, or maybe some things that you haven't tried yet. And you too can get 20% off your next order. That's a one-time order, as big as you want to make it, 20% off. Of course, that does exclude the business builder packs because they are already deeply discounted. So take advantage of that. If you are new watching this for the very first time, hey, you've got, whenever you start, you got 7 days from that to get 20% off for you. Get back to the person that has invited you to watch this webinar. Build up your immune system. Get together with them. Let them know that you're getting started, and we'll look forward to seeing you on a future webinar. So I want to thank you all again. This is Adam Levy from Canton, Connecticut. So glad to be able to share some time with you all. And again, Dr. Robban Sica, thank you for everything that you're doing to help us all build our businesses. You're a wealth of information, and we appreciate you big time. All right, everybody have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are. Thanks for joining us on the webinar. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.